Greetings, folks. AnIolairGhorm here with a World of Warships replay. This is a match of myself in the Tier 10 U.S. Navy Heavy Cruiser, the USS Des Moines, and while this is not a division replay, I am divisioned with Jimijaz in the Tier 10 Soviet destroyer, the Khabarovsk, and with AngryAce in the Tier 10 Royal Navy destroyer, the HMS Daring. We're in a domination match on mountain range, and the team rosters are very heavy with battleships and gunboat destroyers. As far as my ship upgrades and commander skills, I would characterize this as a quasi-competitive build with an emphasis on destroyer hunting, and this is a really important fact to remember late in the match. As far as highlights, I'm just going to tell you right up front that we win this match, but the win is remarkably ungraceful. So most importantly in my mind, even though this is a win, the match has a number of very teachable moments, including the importance of not isolating oneself and going off on your own, the need for battleships to push flanks, and needing to keep your cool and not letting the pressure of the moment sort of blur your awareness and judgment. And again, I'm going to point out a couple places of my own where that affects me. So for most of the gameplay here, I'm going to transition to an accelerated perspective on the minimap and the game score so that you can see how things unfold for the first 3/4 of the match. And we'll come back to a normal replay once we've sort of hit rock bottom in this replay, and you can see how things sort of unfold as we bring ourselves the win. So the two major tactical issues that we have that really put us behind is one on the west side, our Republic and our Cleveland completely abandoned the A side of the map, and our Yugamo, which is only one of two capping DDs that we have, sailed off on his own against a Des Moines, a Haragumo, and a Grosser Kurfürst, and he gets himself sunk. And then on the east side, all of our ships are just kind of milling around on the south side of Charlie, not really know what to do. I'm trying to be in a position to keep myself between the bulk of our ships and the west side so that if the Haragumo comes through, I can radar him out and try to keep him at bay. Now, AngryAce, which is in the Daring, which is the only other capping DD we have, keeps trying to get Bravo. But he is eventually taken out. He had a very persistent Kagro, that opposing Kagro that would stay in the cap. And so now we've lost all the caps and we're severely behind. And let's switch to the regular replay perspective. So we're badly cornered here and we have no caps. Here we detect a very low health Jutland. Our shots are going out and he is taken out by our allied Roma. So we get one ship back and we're now even on ships again. But we still have, more than a 600-point deficit. So things are still obviously looking really bleak. We lose Jim in the Khabarovsk. He went out to try to get at least an ambush strike on the Grosser Kurfürst. And he was able to sink him. At that point, we were assuming that this was just a complete loss and might as well go in and get the damage done. And that's part of the reason I think Jimmy went out there to do that. Here, I'm trying to stay with the Republic that's at Charlie with me, focus down this opposing Gascon that's about to run into the island. Do have an opposing Haragumo that's on going to be on my left side here. I've held my radar waiting to see when he might show up, and just trying to keep our focus on the Gascon. You can see the radio location for my ship is pointing to my left, and here he does show up. And so I'm gonna, my hydro is currently down, so I'm not able to detect torpedoes. That's why I turn into the Haragumo, so that if he did send torps on me, I'm able to try to thread them. Here the Allied Republic is able to finish off the destroyer. So we've actually now gotten a ship advantage here by one ship, and here the Republic and I are continuing to try to focus down the opposing Gascon here, and we're also now in Charlie. Get another fire on the Gascon, which he actually he's still burning, about to go down here. So we still have almost 700 point deficit. There is an opposing Kagro. So if I were on the Kagro's perspective position on the other side, my thinking at this point is I should just run. I don't need to really at this point, even by the time that our team would be able to get all of the caps, we still wouldn't have enough time to overtake the opposing team's point differential. We're now brought it down to 2 ships on the opposing team, including the Worcester that we can now see, and the Kagro has not been seen for a while, but my radio location here is pointing sort of to my forward left. Do finally get a cap. Charlie still have a well more than 500 point deficit. This Worcester is just coming under sustained fire, and he's not going to be able to get out into concealment. So he's doomed as well, which is going to again bring it down to 1 opposing ship. But the point differential is huge. And so again, in fact, we just lost our Cleveland, and there goes the Worcester. So now it's a 4-on-1 situation. And we're now in a scramble to try to at least get to the caps so that we can arrest the point advance, because at the current rate of point advance, they're going to win quite soon. Here I get detected, and I know there's a slim margin between my detectability and my radar range. And here is where I was kind of in a daze. I was just surprised that we were able to try to pull it back this well as far as we could. And so I was confused about, well, where could this destroyer be? But obviously I have radio location, and I steer away from where my radio location is pointing to. But I was so sort of flushed with sort of the tension of what had happened that for probably a good 15 seconds or more, I wasted that time going in the wrong direction, just trying to move around to see if I could try to get the destroyer within my radar range. And then, obviously, at this point, I've now kind of come back to my senses and said, well, wait a minute, I've got radio location. I know exactly which direction the destroyer is in, and now I can go forward. Now, I've lost the radar. We have now captured Bravo. And the North Carolina, which is, certainly faster than her smaller siblings or the lower tier U.S. Navy battleships, is still not the fastest battleship out there. And he's in a scramble to try to get into Alpha to at least arrest the point advance of the opposing team so that they just don't win on points here. But again, even if we capture Alpha here in the next little over a minute, the point differential is so large, there's no way that we can recover, because even if we hold all 3 caps, we would our point advance on the opposing team would be 90 points per minute, and there's less than 4 minutes in the game, and yet there's a 500 point differential. So the Kagero, all he had to do at this point was run. He doesn't need to try to engage us. He doesn't need to try to detect us. He just needs to go as far away as possible. Now, he's at a little bit of a disadvantage, obviously, because I have radio location. I know approximately where he is, and I'm detected. So I know that he's right on sort of that cusp between of my detectability. And I'm going to just keep nosing in on him. There's another torpedo spread. So the Kagero, as an insurance policy, again, if this had been me, I would have just sailed away at this point, so that even if I had lost all my counterparts on my team, I at least would ensure the win. But this Kagero has stuck around too closely. I activate my radar. There he is. Now we can all fire at him to try to get him down here in just a few moments. Naturally, I straddle him with my first salvo. Next salvo go out is a little wide. And then this next salvo, I am going to land true and sink the destroyer, and we win the match. So a brutally ugly win. Frankly, I don't think that we deserved this. This was a gift bordering on charity, frankly, in my opinion. And it was based mostly on luck and choices made by the opposing team. It wasn't, frankly, a result of us playing well at all. So I hope that this was an instructive and insightful replay for you. Please do leave your comments below. And as always, we hope to see you out there, and we wish you happy sailing.